Hello, hi everyone, and in this podcast, I am going to talk about how to communicate effectively in any situation. So, how you communicate with anyone in any time. I'm the author of the Quality of Dialogues and Conversation. You can read my books, and you can be better at communication and communicate effectively with anyone. Anyway, I am a entrepreneur, best-selling author of the more than 100 of the books on self-help and businesses. You can read them and make your life more advanced and more purposeful. So let's start this episode on this podcast, how to communicate effectively. Effective communication is the key to building better relationship. Your professional and personal relationship with the other rely on your ability to express yourself so you are understood. Developing the skills of active listening allow you to understand others. Clear communication will help you to avoid misunderstanding, deepen existing connections, and attract more opportunities to you. Today I want to share that what is the effective communication is, its benefit, and the valuable tips on how to communicate effectively in any situation. So what is effective communication? Effective communication happens when both the sender and receiver of the message feel satisfied and this message itself has been conveyed and received as intended. Communication always involves sender and receiver, and often both parties play both roles, like in a conversation. When you communicate with another person, this is the what happen. You send a message in the form of the word, body language, facial expression, pictures and sounds. The message is then received by the another person who interrupt them in the other minds based on their own thought, feelings and so on. In most cases, to continue the communication the other person formulate is the response that sent to response back. If your message is not the form of the book and wrote in the piece of the artwork you created, the person will not likely respond back. But usually communication is the two-way street to back and forth sharing of the language and non-verbal communication. You then receive their response and translate them into meaning and significance. To continue the communication, you send back your response. This pattern continues until the conversation has come to close. Effective communication starts with the being clear in your own mind about what you want to convey. Then be clear when you deliver the message and make sure the other person hear and understand the message. Practice active listening and effective communication skills as you continue to converse. So how to express yourself effectively? Effective communication is clear and conscious about what they want to say, write and convey. They care about the person they are communicating with it. They not only want to understand but want to understand the other person too. Good communicators are confident and give the correct information. My favorite word is communication is clarity. So many problems in the life come because of the lack of the clarity. We hear things but may not get all the information and pay attention. So we do not fully understand the topic. We also say things but they may not come out clearly. To be clear, stop and think and then proceed slowly. Another great way to improve communication is to rephrase and repeat something when it is clear the person you are speaking to didn't get the message. For example, I speak Hindi, I speak English, I speak Marathi. I am busy working on learning many languages. So one of the things I have learned is that if you say something in your limited language and someone doesn't seem to understand it, rephrase it and say it again. If they still don't understand, rephrase it, say it again. Non-verbal communication until that person say, "Ha, now I understand." Way of people communicate. So communication take on many forms. You communicate informally when you chat with the friend and the close family members, but you communicate more formally when you are in the job interview, speaking to a large audience and writing to the International Journal of Academia. You communicate online in the person, a blog post in the communication as the book, poem, paintings, sculptures and social media post. Conversation between two people is communication as the group meeting at work. When you are exchanging your thought, knowledge, opinion, feelings with the other, you are communicating. Let's talk about verbal communication. Verbal communication involves talking out loud with the another person or the multiple people. You can communicate verbally face to face and even when you cannot see the person, such as over the phone or across the house. Face to face conversation can even happen when you are on the different side of the planet than the person you are speaking to, such as the FaceTime call, Zoom meeting. As long as you are using the spoken word, you are communicating verbally. Good verbal communication skill rely on the language you choose and how well you pronounce and enhance your word. You will of course want to communication in a language the listener understand and speak clearly, so there is a less chance to misunderstanding. When you are speaking clear, communication is also influenced by your tone of voice, how quickly and slowly you speak, and the pitch of your voice. Good communication vary these qualities when speaking to provide emphasis, create atmosphere, encourage and response. For example, when you ask a question, the pitch of your voice rise at the end of the sentence. Your voice might get louder when expressing surprise and excitement, but quieter when you are speaking about sensitive topics. So, what is about non-verbal communication? Instead of the using word, non-verbal communication involve using body language, facial expression, non-verbal signals, hand gesture, and other cues to get a message across without using the spoken and written word. Non-verbal communication almost always accompanies verbal communication. For example, it would be difficult to talk about your new raise without having a smile on your face that essences your happiness when giving the someone direction. Communicating effectively include pointing and using other hand gesture. Eye contact is an important element of the effective communication. When you maintain eye contact with someone you are having the conversation with, you let you know that you are interested in what they are saying. You are engaged and present instead of the distractions. Evading your eye contact is often perceived as having something to hide, not being the honest. Then you understand about written communication. So written communication that includes just that anything that is written down with the word and other sample, that is the meaning. You have to visual communication, you have to mass communication, you have to group communication, you have to listening. That listening is the essential component of effective communication. Being a good listener is just as important as being to express yourself. You can make a big difference in the building both personal and professional relationship by listening in the person you are talking about. Or the reading their response to your email comment and you become aware of that important to them. You need to pay attention. You do not interrupt anyone and be a good listener. Maintain eye contact, give feedback, have open body language, ask clarify questions,